Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. All right. I think I'm okay with the sound now. We got a little interference, but with the music, it should be good. It should be good. I'm fine with this balance. All right. Sorry for the quick delay there, everyone. My bad. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Because part of the issue is that I got both the things relaying to each other, right? Back, we good. Yeah, nice to see everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching this VOD. I appreciate all the support we've been getting. It's day 25 of March Madness. So we've been doing a marathon for a whole month now. Main purpose of this shit was to get a vision on what we want to create in the long term. As you can see, both me and Raza have had a lot of content ideas. So the main goal I was trying to get down was to be able to envision what works, what people like to hang out with, because I'm not necessarily trying to get famous. I'm trying to create a community atmosphere. All mans want to do, I just want to pay rent. Otherwise, I can hustle the rest of my money. I can make my own fortune. I'm not expecting no subscription fees to pay my daily bills. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping to get to a point where I can create and not be worried about fiscal financial shit. So part of that is including the wacky skills that like make up who I am, and that's something I've been waiting to get on top of creating, and I'm really excited that I can start doing that now as part of this marathon and what we've gotten to. So whether you're watching this on Twitch or on YouTube, if you go back to our main channel, you're going to see that we got a whole bunch of variety, especially coming out this month, and then moving forward, we're going to take all those lessons and apply them with intent and creativity. So today, could be a bit louder, I got you, that's an easy one. Yo. There you go. I turned you up a little bit. I turned you up a whole couple notches on my soundboard. And also hats off. Maybe I'll actually put my dude, look at those rich man pots. That's why, yeah, I got the one nice rich man pot. That's it. Otherwise, that's like what I've been trying to do with these cooking streams. I want to get this to like a situation where I can kind of show how all you need, I got one pot, one pan, that's it, you know what I mean? I'm not whipping out all this crazy stuff. The only excessive thing I brought today was a food processor. But even then, it's a one-time investment. I paid for a nice one through my hustle. I got it for about $60. And now this thing has like done me good and will do me good for a couple of years, right? So it's one of those, like, depends on what you're trying to get. Yeah. Thank you, bro. Love how both restream and chat overlay. The what? We got both of them on? Oh, god damn, eh? Easy quick. This man Sensei coming in with the tech support. I appreciate it. So the one thing about my workflow that I would really advise people do that I haven't yet and is bad for my end is I need to improve my workflows a little bit more. I need to have like presets prepared, because otherwise I'm diddling around for 20 minutes before I do each one of these streams. Howdy, greetings, and good day. Today I'm making potato latkes. So this is a Ukrainian classic. They're also called potato pancakes if you're not like from one of the Eastern European countries. I might toss on some bacon because mans need some of that salt and protein. Checking in while I'm freestyling over these beats here. Yo, I appreciate it, man. I'll take the lurk views. You remember, if you want to support the stream, what you do is you right-click the tab on your Google Chrome bar and you hit mute tab and you leave the volume on, and then... Nice, man. I was freestyling a bit yesterday. I need to do eventually. That's Alim's been hitting me with the inspo. I'm debating about curating some sort of sessions like that. Like, I don't know. Alim's been really getting to me. So again, tutorial style. I gotta slow down. Basically, what we do is we take some of these potatoes, combine it with flour, an egg, and then whatever veggies you want. I'm just gonna do some spinach and onions. I'm onion man's always. And you take that shit, you blend it together, and it becomes like a hash brown, but with more solidity to it, as well as it's way more filling. So you got the flour and the eggs, you have the salt and the pepper to taste, and it's a great accessory to if you're serving like a big old meal for people. In my case, I'm a hungry boy. I was out late last night, so you'll notice me stuttering a bit, but I gotta fuel up. Are you gonna get into CS2 gnarly or not? That's why I gotta get on the Valorant tip with you guys. I'll definitely give it a go, but I gotta get used to the different type of gunplay first, so I need to get in there. Noted with flour and an egg. Which onion is best? In this case, I would recommend a yellow onion, because the yellow onions tend to have a bit more sugars. If not, alternatively, a white onion. The main difference between a yellow onion and a red onion is like the type of sucralose it excretes. So a white onion can physically, like it actually becomes sweet, and then that's why it's almost better to use like a white onion with, say, a guacamole versus a red onion, because you want to add that lighter profile flavor versus a tart red onion onto your guac. Just click heads and have nice movement. I'm almost there. It's the snappiness. I need to do aimbots for real, for real. That's like really the move that I need to get into. But, so my food processor, a little bit too strong. So the thing is, I'm going to toss in the potatoes first, give them a little quick buzz, take them out, put in the other shit, give it a quick buzz, and then mix it all together. If you have one that's like a little less powerful, you should be able to do it all at once. But my shit will like turn it into a paste if I'm not careful, and that's what you want to avoid. I want the little chunks, because then I like it. It adds the texture, and then I think it makes it taste less like a mushy patty. You know what I mean? I want a little chunk of potato and onion here and there. No puree. Yeah. Good call out. Good call out. You can. You'll go to some Ukrainian places and they give you straight puree. They want like the puree latkes, and I'm not with it. I like the homestyle. I want the chunky bits, you know. So first, you'll see some of my techniques. So like a potato, when you're cutting like any round object, your first mission with knife skills is to cut a flat surface. So I take this one side. You see now I've got this one flat. Got this bit. Now my potato sits flat. There's a couple ways to approach it after you do that if you want. The main thing is then I would usually slice it vertically, so then I can then begin to dice it. But of course you can go chop, chop, chop horizontally. There's a couple different approaches, but personally I find going this way allows me to provide a little bit more control over the size, even if I fuck up and make it like thick old little stems, you know, because then you can chop it up into tinier squares. So, like bop, right? So you see now we got potato splits into 3. And from there, now they all sit flat on your board, right? So if I'm doing 100 potatoes, right, I want to do it this way because then I can do this with fucking 5 of them and then and chop them all up in one quick go. So same like I was saying, I'm trying to show that you can do this stuff budget. This is like not a fancy knife. It's just some budget. I got this at Value Village. I sharpened it so it has a better edge. My main thing I would say to recommend when you're looking for a kitchen knife is just to make sure it has good balance. You see how I can twirl it and stuff? You want to be able to find a knife that fits your size of hand comfortably and that it doesn't feel too top heavy or back heavy. It's all about having a tool that you can work with. Think of it like a drumstick, right? You want it to be able to float just like a drumstick does in your hands, right? Because you see how I use it, right? I'm not necessarily going for heavy chops. It's all about flow so that the knife is an extension of your wrist. And then that way you're not going to cause carpal tunnel. The same thing as you apply patience while you're typing. You apply patience and fluid movement to your chopping. And then again, if I'm doing 100 potatoes, my wrist ain't going to get fucked. Shout out Turtle in 74. Appreciate the follow, man. Thank you. That's all we're trying to run up for this month. I'm trying to hit up 100, so appreciate it. If you check out our VODs, we got a whole variety going on. We've been doing a marathon for a month, so you can get acquainted with us. Instructions unclear. I smashed too many potatoes and now I'm labeled a dangerous chef. So, in terms of portions, the thing is I don't have like an exact measurement system for this, but this is one of those, again, it's a Homestyle recipe. So it's not necessarily about 2 cups this, a pinch of that. It's about being able to eye the mixture that you're creating, and then you can amplify that whether you're making it for like 6 people or just like 2. He's been doing a marathon for a month. Hi from Italy. Nice. Awesome, man. Where in Italy? That's really cool. Our man Zalim RM has been out those ends a couple times. I think Spain, though. I don't know if he actually got to Italy. But appreciate it, man. How did you learn English in school? How do you know English if you're in Italy? Well, yeah, welcome from Italy. Yeah, fair. So as you see, took the flat side off again. 1 slice, 2 slice, 3 bits, and then now you get to lay all those bad boys flat. Done. Right? I am hungry, and I'm going to make extras, so I'm going to use 3 potatoes here. Top of the morning to you, Delano? Do I roll the N? Or do I say it like a white guy? Are you Delano? English is far more common. Yeah, I guess with the interwebs. If you want to be a denizen of the Twitch, bro, you gotta have to at least understand the basics. Oh, goddamn. Might have camera interference. Sorry if that happened, guys. We should be back to normal, though. Little lag from the laptop. So, as I said, we're going to break it up. We're going to give these potatoes a quick blend first, just so that they're down to a more particular size. I'll take them out, blend the veg together, and then bingo bango. The one thing I'm adding to this that I normally wouldn't add is some spinach, but I need some iron right now. I got to add that in. Just call me Dill. I like it, I'm with it. Nice to meet you, Dill. Where are you joining us from? And this is also, yeah, I'm definitely sticking with this cooking stream as a consistent thing. The homie, yo. I was with my boys last night back in Scarps, like back in the ends, and they were, my man's Tyrell wants to do like a Scarborough cooking show, so the first dish he wants to make jerkin. He thinks he's invented this wonderful idea of jerked bacon. Yeah. Antarctica? I fuck with it. I was about to make a penguin joke, and then I realized the penguin, that would be horribly wrong. That would be very wrong. And I appreciate it. Yeah, the melee stream was fire. T's been my homie from time. Like, me and T were, like, living that life, you know, staying at each other's houses when we needed to. Things were right. Like, we've seen some things together, bro. So he's like my brother. More on the southeast end, though. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about Antarctica, right? Yo, and then I had a funny... Yeah, of course. I was working with Aleem doing these videos. If you check out our VODs, I did a video sorting stream so you could see what my files looked like and what I was up to, but oh boy. Have I ever tried gorilla bum cheeks? No, sir. I have not tried gorilla bum cheeks. How would you prescribe them? I don't even know how to react to that one. That's you. Good job. You threw me off kilter, fam. So quick dice. I'll let you guys see this guy here too, actually. If I can get it to unlock. So it looks like this. We got our full of potatoes. You see how it goes? It's way too fine at the bottom. That's why I'm splitting them up. Crunchy. I had some alligator before. I've tried a whole wacky spread of food. Ostrich? I think ostrich was the weirdest type of meat I had. Oh, but yeah, so I was talking about hanging out with Aleem and supporting his awesome program he's got running, showing the kids how to lay down music properly, songwriting, all that, giving them an interesting opportunity to grow their artistic talents. But I was sitting there, I was talking about the Melee stream, like playing Super Smash Bros. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be me and my homies. They all laughed at me when I said homies. I was like, oh shit, there's my old head. I was like, okay, all right, I gotta take homies out of my vocabulary around the youth. So we'll just give this a little quick little stir around, try to get these more evenly diced up, you know what I mean? I'm going to start the oil running on the stove soon, but there's still a couple steps here, so I'm not rushing to it. And since I'm streaming for you guys, I'm not going to be repping my oil up. I want to do it patiently. Nothing wrong with the... yeah. When I was in South Africa, I had ostrich. It was really fucking good, honestly. There we go. That's the texture I was looking for. So you see it's got like still substantial bits, you know, but it's not like a paste. So then when I give it one last pulse with the flour and the eggs and the oil, it will actually be a little bit more adequately blended. I knew some people would eat ostrich eggs from time to time. Yeah, well, because then, well, think about it. You got the ostrich farm for the ostrich eggs. The ostriches get old. They're big-ass animals. That's a lot of meat. But it was like a weird combination between red meat and chicken. It was like if you had, like, poultry that also had, like, a steak taste to it. So it was, like, felt like chicken, but tasted like steak. It was really cool, actually. So giant chicken steak, yeah, pretty much. Which was cool, it was interesting. I would eat it again, but you know, humane conditions, all that shit. I'm not a big animal rights activist or super concerned about food, but I'm trying to be more conscious of how my dietary actions can affect the world, you know what I mean? I'm not going deep on it, but I'm still trying to be conscious of it. So, taking these out, as I said, I'm going to put the veg and the other crap in there, give it a quick pulse or two, and then we'll add in the potatoes again slowly. And it's again, changing up my methods a little bit, but it's so that I don't get the mushy paste, because I bought too good of a food processor. I'm gonna fire up this stove shortly because I actually may as want a little bit of bacon too. No, exactly. I feel you. Like, that's my next step. Once I have money, first I gotta secure this shit. Once I'm financially secure, then I'll find some farmer. Find some farmer with chickens or cows and like make sure I'm at least like social, like buying it with consciousness. Yeah. So that's like the middle ground that I see you soon too. Farmer's market is dope for sure. Yeah, it works like that. Yeah, I would go to a farmer's market. So 1 egg, crack the egg, just crack it on a sink, just dash it right up in it. Oh my God, I started hard there. Just right up in it. Take the half an onion, and since again my food processor is kind of hefty, just kind of dash strong chunks into it. So like you're not really worried about dicing it now because again, food processor too strong. That guy is gonna be the one that like nearly purees it for you. So we got this potato set up. Then we take this, bop, 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 big chunks, and then see how that, as I came down on that onion, it started to slide. That is the example of what happens when the knife's a little too dull, and that's why it's important to keep them sharp. But once again, trying to show what it's like to cook in this environment without having to have like a whole buttload of tools at your disposal. So there's half an onion in. I kind of want a bit more. I would recommend, so for every 2 potatoes, you want half an onion, 1 egg, and approximately 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of flour. I like to add a little bit more onion. Again, I survive off of onions. I've done a bit of research actually, and it's funny because I always talk to my grandma about this because she's so goddamn Ukrainian. But there's a lot of science is finding out now that the antioxidants in onions are equivalent to eating an apple. So if you eat an entire onion a day, that also keeps the doctor away, which I thought was a fun fact. But then it all clicked because then the fam's Ukrainian. They don't really eat many fruits, but they all live to fucking 90 somehow. They all live to 90 and 100, and they're eating like garlic, onions, and cabbage rolls. They get the same thing, the same benefits you get from like kimchi, you can get from sauerkraut. So without knowing it, my old ass European white grandma has been eating like a really healthy diet, and it took modern science to catch up to it. Before, those were just stereotypical like broke people Eastern European food of like, oh yeah, they eat a lot of potatoes and onions and garlic. But it turns out that the garlic and the onions replace like the potassium from bananas and the antioxidants from apples in the onions. But going off food knowledge. So same thing also, I've got these big ass garlic cloves, right? As I say, it's half an onion. I would also only put in 1 clove if I'm recommending it for someone else. But Bay here, same thing. Antioxidants, garlic, my tummy, that shit, I can live off of that. I'm literally, because I'm trying to figure out how to scam typical society, trying to play catch up to a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, and it's one of those like, how do I word it? It shows the socioeconomic biases of society, right? Because then they're also like, they're poor white people, they're the poor Eastern European people. So then, since that's what the poor people ate, they're like, oh yeah, whatever, these farmers from the Ukraine who got no money, that's what you eat, cabbage rolls and garlic and onions, because you ain't got nothing else. And it turns out like that was the smart choice, and that's why they were doing it as like culturally a pattern. Because imagine, man, like you're living in somewhere cold. Like you see all those clips of Ukraine, Romania, those regions. There's no fucking fruit trees, bro. There are, but they're not. They're growing for 4 months of the year, maybe. You know? Yeah, so it's all about, like, the part that I believe a lot in when we talk about diets is, like, it'll probably, if I continue doing these cooking streams. So the way that I think, the way I can word it safely is, like, I do believe in ancestral diets. So, like, where your family lineage is from doesn't necessarily dictate how your genetics will go overall. I'm not being a eugenicist here by any means. But your stomach and your body's ability to absorb specific nutrients is 100%, I think, affected by your lineage. Because it's only in the modern era that we're able to get on planes and fuck off, get on a boat, fuck off, right? Like, it's not necessarily about biases based on regions or where you grew up, but if you, say, grew up in a hot climate, you're going to have much more access to sucralose. You're going to be drinking coconut milk and getting electrolytes on a regular basis, blah, 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 versus if you're in a cold region, you're going to have to rely on gourds, like squash, underground vegetables, root vegetables. And over centuries, your body's going to adjust to the nutrient intake that it's receiving from that lifestyle-based diet. So I think that does affect people a little bit, you know? I'm making, bro. I'm already done the first half. Chill out. Yeah, over decades, hundreds of years. Like, yeah. Like, hundreds of years, bro. Because you go back to all your ancestors, and that's why it's not necessarily like, that's why I want to make sure that the careful line is drawn, that it ain't no eugenicist argument. Because it's not necessarily like, oh, you ate a lot of rice all the time, so you need to eat rice. But if you're only eating a certain selection of the food spectrum, because that was what was available regionally, that I think would affect you over the long term. Say white people with soy. That's why white people cannot process the estrogen in soy as much versus someone from East Asia. They can very easily process the estrogen because over generations they've been used to it. The same thing applies literally for beer and, like, say, German people and stuff, because they had access to that from the 1400s. Their body is able to literally process beer and liquor as carbohydrates, as a nutrient, which is still arguably bad for your liver and still does damages and many other consequences, but because it was already introduced to them, their body can literally turn it into a food, you know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. So that's where I think that heavily applies. So as much as I can sit here and preach about, oh, this is what a Bailey eats, I eat a lot of spinach, I eat a lot of potatoes, I like to have kimchi, I like to have probiotics, that may not work for the next man's. Like the homie Aleem does like an ITAL lifestyle. Now, I would love to, but I need some sort of heavy protein. I could probably get away from meat, but I need protein to help balance out my diet. Otherwise, I feel heavily lethargic, you know? The gnarly buff, yeah. So we're filling up the pan with oil. As I said, since I'm doing this on stream, if I'm doing this solo, I'll just flip it on high, be patient, let the place get filled up with smoke as it goes. But since I'm kind of doing it here, I gotta literally check out how oily it can get in here. Speaking of which, I'm just shut this right down. So if you guys looking there, it's not hella embarrassing. I got a fan and a window in that bathroom, so that's why I gotta open that door. And if you do low and slow, we can bring it up to temp without having a big concern about, like, say, like, embarrassing myself and making it too smoky. And I think I might have put too much. No, that's perfect. So when it comes to the oil, I'll try to see if I can show it to you with something. We got a spoon here. So when I'm trying to fill the pan, I'm trying to do like 1.5 centimeters. So I'm gonna put the spoon in, and you see where it's dripping to there? So it's going to about this part of the spoon. You want like 1.5 centimeters roughly depth. You want the potatoes to be able to hit the bottom of the pan, but you don't want them to be over, you don't want the oil to cover over the pancakes that you're cooking. So you kind of want it to be able to have an even bath, as if you're doing fried chicken. So oil's right here. Thankfully I ate already. I'm so hungry. Yo, you could have had miso soup today, Wine Mama. But if you come for the subathon on the 31st, Wine Mom and internets, we're going to do a subathon. We're going to wing it a little bit. We're going to wing it a little bit for sure. It's not going to be like a fancy subathon. Don't talk schmack. Yeah, around one, but yeah. Floating between 1 centimeter and 1.5 centimeters. What the hell? You got some classic beats on in the background. That's all he does, especially when there's a game nearby. Yeah, I'll be cooking on the 31. I'll start with the games I want to do a damn near all day stream. I will start in the morning with something for me, something relaxing. I might pick a creative game or I don't know. I'll figure that out. Strategy game or something. And then from there, I will transfer to a cooking stream. And if you guys are through already, I would love you guys to come through the cooking stream. We do the cooking bit, and then I would get you or Panda to hook it up and just hang out, do something for about an hour, and then Raza comes here, and then we got Raza for the night. Me and Raza do something while you guys go hang out and take a break, and then we want to do Resident Evil 4 remake as the nighttime, sit there as a crew, turn the lights dim, and play some RE4 and do pass and play. That's the idea we were having. So I'm gonna start adding. So I got garlic in here. I got garlic. I got 1 egg. I got half and a bit of onion, but you need half. I now add salt. I eye it out. If I had to estimate, I would say just over a teaspoon. And then I add pepper, of course. Where's my pepper? I got the ground pepper. Got the chef version. What day is the 31st? It should be a Friday. That blender company better sponsor y'all. Yo, Cuisinart fam, Cuisinart. That'd be a good sponsorship, man. That means I'm really making the cooking streams happen. Yeah. I'll try to do a whole Friday. I do have to go to a stag and dough the next day, so I would love to do it in 48-hour stream, but I don't think I can. And then this way we could test the concept. Make sure that I can do the bouncing around, and then definitely within the next month I'll do a proper subathon. Make sure I clear out the next 2 days so that I can be I'll pay for X amount of subs for X amount of hours. But I gotta go to a fam thing. I'm putting off work to play RE4, so you're very welcome. It's easy SEO bait for a minute anyways. Devs. That's what I'm thinking. 12 hours, probably a bit more. It might end up 18 hours. We were debating about going overnight, but I don't think we need to push it. But I was thinking we have enough content now. We could put a replay feature on. But so I'm going to give these guys a pulse. And yeah, you see, because with the egg, it becomes like a little paste, right? Like a little pasty stuff. And then you pump that with the taters and flour. And you got pancakes. You got pancakes, dog. Now the one thing I'm adding, again, normally not recommended, normally not what I would do, but you're gonna get a bit of spinach in the mix here. So I need a little bit of greens. And I think it will help with the flavor a bit. So potato plus veggie. I wouldn't say a little bit of spinach counts. That's why I'm cheating. Spinach ain't normal, but if it's just for Bebe, I need that iron, bro. I need that iron bad. And riboflavin. Main story takes 12 hours. Any 100% maple syrup? No. It's meant to be salty. Because it's a Ukrainian dish, we got that sour cream. You eat a sour cream, and then I got sauerkraut. But the main story takes 12 hours. Then we'll see how it goes. We can do our best. We can always do another stream and have that be like the ditty, finishing RE4 and playing other Resident Evils if we do a subathon. I don't know, but... So this one will be the first test concept of can we do a variety stream in the day. I'll have the studio set up so that we can walk in here, do the cooking stream, and then we go in there, play the games, and we can go back and forth. And then if that works, then I can do the type of subathon where I'm like, okay, X amount of dollars. Because, man, we ain't balling enough. I can't afford to do a fucking 48-hour stream and order takeout the whole goddamn time. So then since I do this, combine. Sweet potato ones I would have to do some experimenting with. I think I could definitely pull it off. I am not questioning that. But sweet potatoes have more moisture content, and that can affect how all the things come together. So I got my little bit of bacon here. I'm just kind of firing up my bacon pan again just for myself. Man's just wanted some bacon. Then I'm going to put in about half of these potatoes that I ground up because I eat so many gosh darn potatoes. It's not a big deal if I have leftovers because I will use them. I want to make sure I got the chunky bits as they sit, a little bit more so. So there you go. I've got it filled up about part way. So as I said, you can kind of see it here actually. So you want like 1 part of your onion and egg mixture to 2 parts of your potatoes, right? So onions and eggs to 2 parts potatoes. So you can scale that up however many people you're feeding, whether it's 8 potatoes and 2 onions, or it's 2 potatoes and half an onion. Easy WR run. Sweet potatoes are always fire. Noted part 1, 2 parts noted. Yeah. Yeah. I make a couple of good varieties of sweet potato. I like the classic, honestly, just a low and slow oven baked sweet potato. It's like I like the taste of it. When I'm camping, bro, that's one of my favorite. I bring sweet potatoes camping now, and it's like the first thing I put on when I make the campfire. I build the campfire, get the grill ready, get ready to cook, and I just leave a fucking potato on the fire, and you leave it there for like 2 hours. And goddamn, it gets like caramelized inside. You get all the smokiness of the fire. And it's just like, it tastes like what it should taste like. It's good. I've been really I love cooking while I'm camping, first off. That's like a big thing for Bebe. Very big thing. And then I didn't put any flour in the middle of this, so I kind of got to open it up to make sure it blends in the flour. When I go camping, I've been kind of simplifying. For a while there, I was trying to make big fancy dishes, steak this, balsamic reduction that. But what I've really fallen in love with while I cook camping is like very simple recipes of just like, take a watermelon, put that shit on the fire. Eric, Stone knows. I started to figure that out with him. After I figured it out with you, Stone, I've been exploring even further with just putting shit on the grill. Shout out. Nice to see everyone. It's good to have all the homies in. The normal completion time is 13 speed run from what I gather. I've done RE7, RE8, the other puzzles I had time is doable. Yeah, because that's the proper subathon. That's how you do it, Raza. You sit there and you go, okay, for every 5 subs, I'll go another hour longer. And then that's how you run up the proper subathon. The one tip I forgot to say, dash of oil, but that's just to eye. If it's looking too pasty, the oil just helps liquefy everything a little bit. No measurement, I would say teaspoon if you got to be serious about figuring out how much. So then we mash it all down. Again, this is just because my shit's too powerful. If you have a weaker one, it will blend it all just fine, but I gotta make sure I give it a little thump so that it all kind of merges together more naturally. Let me get my lid back. Heck yes, anything grilled is top tier, especially over a campfire. Oh man, some peeps just do for every sub, add some minutes. That's even better. That would work. We could do that for another game. Man just wants to complete the game. Word up, word up. And yeah, because I did, we were in the mountains of BC and I did fresh peaches and plums on the fire, like freshly picked that day. God damn, it was good. So she's getting a little too pasty, as I said, because of this specific blender that I got. So we're gonna, as you can see, can you look at the side? A little too pasty. I want it to stay thick like it is on top. So we're gonna take a spoon and give it a little manual mix in here. I can feel my oil getting hot. One way you can tell your oil is getting there, you can begin to see it almost liquidify. You could start to see it loosen up. As your oil changes from that oil consistency to more of like a runny water, that means it's got a lot of heat in it. The peaches, bro. I know, man. I've been doing that shit ever since. I bring a new one type of fruit to try every time. So far, watermelon wins. Watermelon always has won this one by far. So again, just manually stirring. I'm cheating a little bit because my food processor works so good that it doesn't blend stuff very well. So I have to get in here and cheat a little bit. So, pull this off too. Let's just see. So that's roughly what you want your mixture to look like. It's like, as you can see, it's a little thick. If I pull the spoon out too, you can check it out here. It's like got a bit of texture to it. You see, I got chunks in it, and as it falls off, it's clumpy, but it's a little too watery still. So we're gonna add a bit of flour to it to help bring it together and thicken it a touch. And then from there, we should be very close. This should be just about ready to go on in the oil. And then I will double check the oil after, because as I said, I was being patient with the pan since I'm multitasking. I don't want to get it ripping hot right now. Can't even imagine. Noted. So more watery. Not even a sad thing. Oh yeah, I gotta open it up to blend that in though. Because again, mixture ain't even. Thicken it. I got way too many games I have to look at before I get into Valo, sadly. Oh, that's fair for work. Yeah. I'll play some Valo with you boys. I need to practice that CSGO style aim, so. Yeah. So I'm eyeing it. I brought this jar of flour. I used this much of it. So that's like a quarter cup approximately, I would say. Now I'm just pulsing to avoid that paste issue I was worried about. And then we do a manual. I stir it around. We give it a try. So you take this out. Here's the satisfying part. Hashtag satisfying. You got this guy. Take him. Drop it all out. Good thing the sink's right there. So you got a mixture full of your potato gunk. And then the fun part about having extra potatoes then in this process is if I really need to, then I can just add to this bowl, right? A lot of these dishes that I make are all about balancing out effort and scalability. So if I want to make it bigger, it ain't that big a problem. My oil's looking kind of good. We're going to test it with a spoon. Yep. Needs a bit more heat, but so I'll show you here. You see how I put my spoon in and it sizzles? It's just about to go, but you see how it's not like popping? That means it's just hot enough, but as soon as I put something with mass in there, it's gonna lose all that temperature. So I wanna get it a little bit higher, drop in my first pancake, and then the pan should be at an adequate temperature that it starts going back to where you need it. One thing I would say, the main thing about like an amateur chef and a kitchen chef is like, don't be afraid to keep fucking fiddling with that temperature knob. The main thing, you go to cooking school, you learn how to cook, that's constant tweak taught, don't be afraid. It's not about finding a 4 and leaving on the 4. You gotta watch the pan and work with your ingredients. But my favorite thing about RE4 from the demo is roundhouse kicking old people in the face, super anime, which they didn't add too many IG filters on the smoke, but it's in beta. I sadly really didn't get in CS. Yeah, I haven't seen any highlights. I've been purposely not spoiling the RE4 remake so that I can go in raw dog on our reactions. And then the CSGO stuff does look very good. I'm really interested in trying it, but it's another one of those, like, I know we're not top tier streamers, and I'm also not a top tier gamer, so I'm always like, I want to get into it, but I know I'm not going to be the best, you know? So I get a little self-conscious in that way, I won't lie. Just opening up some windows because I can't blow the fan while I'm doing stream. It's not the oil smoking, that's the dish underneath it. I'm gonna have to do a big clean of my stove. That's the main issue right now. Gnarly speed reading pog. Yo, bro, I could go pretty fast if you need me to. I used to speed read books. Play what you want. So since you're fine. No, exactly. I still want to play what I want, but it's per se like if I start streaming like just Valorant, yeah, I'm gonna get swamped out. I want to play Rust a bit, but I don't want to invest in Rust and then compete against a bunch of 13-year-olds. You know what I mean? I'm very okay with that mid-balance. I like the games that we're playing and the sections that we're playing, but at the same time, I'm not about to go play fucking Final Fantasy 14. You know what I mean? Which is an outdated reference, as it were. So give it another quick stir because my blender is not cooperative. And then you'll see kind of now, pull it up. It's got this texture, or as I said, it's kind of gloopy. You see how it all sticks together a little bit? That's what you want. You want it to have a little bit of toughness to it. So we're going to try a small one first. That's always what I recommend starting with. And then as I do this, I literally, so you can get tongs, tools that may be better for this, but because I'm a baby, I'm not really worried about my hands. They're already burnt to a crisp. So I'm just using spoon and spatula. But feel free to get bigger, just metal tools primarily if you're working with oil. FF14 is still popping. Double peak, 2 different angles. What you mean outdated? I thought it was. I thought it was outdated a little bit, I'll be honest. But I guess it's still popping. I thought, like, in terms of MMO world, I thought everyone already moved on to different MMOs. Clear the site, easy peasy, easy clap. So we got the bacon cooking, and then I'm going to take this one guy. We're going to try to drop him in. If it breaks up, then we're fucking up. This spoon, baby spoon, not cutting it. We need bigger spoon. There we go. Should take this bit, get up in here. Looks like it's working. Let me get a plate ready so that I can show you guys after. So whenever you're frying with oil, if you don't have a drying rack, you take some paper towel, throw it on a plate, and then when you put it down, it will absorb some of that hot oil you're taking out of it. It looks like we're cooking just fine. And as I said, that's why I had to do that temperature trick earlier, because it's already going down in temp. So the oil was at its smoking point when I put the pancake in, but one pancake alone will bring that down mad fast. And I'm trying to do like 2, 3 at a time. Peeps are still playing FF7. 10 for the first half. I fixed it, and now it's gone to the biggest MMOs. As an honor, I was messing with the FF14 free-to-play thing last month. The servers have 400K concurrent. God damn. Same for CS 1.6 and Quake, even when the devs shut down the servers. That's crazy. No, you're right. You're right. Again, look at Guns the Duel. Man, that shit thrived in the modern landscape. No service. Ah, and baby, overcooked it a little bit, so my temp is too high, ironically. I did all that rambling. And it was a little too hot. But, pull this out for you guys so you can see what we're cooking with. This is what we're making. Potato latkes. So little fried potato pancakes that you can eat. Yo, there's private servers for guns. Both me and Raza have been wanting to play it. You would probably be good at it, but what I was saying to Raza is we're not fast enough, man. So now since that worked, and I see that the temperature's low enough, I'm going to try to do multiple at a time, and then I just have to I might be less chat responsive. I can try to show you what it looks like in the oil, but that's a little rough. What you're trying to do is basically put it in and let it sit, and when it starts getting golden brown, flip it. When that bottom side gets golden brown, flip it back over. And then that's how you get an even cook to it. So you take 1 big tablespoon's worth, drop that bad boy in there. Take another big tablespoon's worth, drop that bad boy in there. You guys will see the pan kind of looks like this. It's sizzling the fuck away. And you see how it's just barely covering the tops of those pancakes. And then now I'm going to give a little bit more of a careful eye. I want to make sure they're separated in the oil so that they can not stick together and they get an even cook. Next on has been dropping sleeper hits, sizzling into golden brown flips. Yeah. So this guy, as you see, is a little dark brown on the one side because I wasn't quick enough. Now these guys are going, as I said, I want to have that nice balance. They're starting to turn golden brown. I take them, I flip them. And this has a much more appealing color towards it. As I was saying, when I do these, I'm going to make a whole batch because then there you go, I've got lunch food for later. And as I do these cooking streams, I'm thinking of approaching them as if they're like food prep streams. So you may see more of this. So the underside is now golden brown. I give it another flip so that I can cook evenly. In this case, I'm going to give it a 4th one, but 3 works good enough. I like to do 4 to make sure that I'm getting it cooked throughout and you're flipping it over more so. Otherwise, that's how you get that black backside like that. Now you'll see these are pretty golden brown. This one's working. You want 12 dam. I can probably make about 9 to 10 out of this batch. So that's, as you saw, when I'm talking broke boy food, I put in 2.5 potatoes, 1 onion, 1 egg, and a 1/4 cup of flour. And look, you've got a nice, very filling, impressing meal that literally costs $5 food cost. You know? So this is this again why it's a Ukrainian food. You're throwing together cheap, affordable dishes that taste really good. So this one, much more the color that you want. I'm scared I'm going to drop it, so excuse the spoon. So much more golden brown, that's what you're looking for. But so then even if you want to apply it to broke boy, you're a university student watching this video, you're about to move into your house, your first house on your own. It's a very good time saver meal, and you don't need to have a high level of cooking experience. It's just about that food processor. Once you're able to secure the balance that you want for it, like how wet it is versus like what makes a good, like how much flour you put in, then this is something you can whip up easy. If you're a college bro, you're hanging out and you're like, man, I'm hungover as shit, but I can't afford fucking bacon, I can't afford sausage. This is like a good hangover meal because it's full of oil and it's also full of starches and the flour as well. It helps absorb things that may dehydrate you in your blood. So it's a good little cheeky balance as hangover food. And you can easily sell it to your frat bro buddies. Like they'll eat a latke potato pancake because everyone has hash browns. So Drop that bad boy in. I'm actually going to throw a bit more potatoes in here. We're going to lengthen this out since I've got that little extra bit. Throw the top back on. Throw the rest of the potatoes in. And again, judging based on how wet it is, because I've done this a couple times, I'm just going to throw in a bit of flour by eye. Just be an amazing chef, Chad, and learn from this stream. All right, y'all. Have a good afternoon. Peace out. Peace out. Now, always fun having you around, Sensei. Thank you for stopping by. As always, you're the one who came with the marathon idea, so we wouldn't be doing this without you. So thank you, bro. You've been supporting since day one, and you're a true inspiration, fam. For real, for real. Flipping my bacon. Flipping my bacon. Flipping the bakies. Now we're going to flip the pancakes. And the oil's starting to lose temp, so you'll notice they don't turn golden brown as quick. Hey, Aleem's still here. This man's taking in the lessons. If you're a vegan, Aleem, too, you can do this exact recipe. You just do it with flaxseed meal. It will taste a little different, not as rich as the ones that I'm making. But you do that flaxseed meal trick. You take the flaxseed meal, you mix it with water. It becomes like an egg-like texture. That does actually work as a substitute for these style latkes. I used to make these buckwheat latkes using this. So I used to use buckwheat and a couple different stone ground flours that were more gluten friendly as well as vegan friendly. But appreciate everyone tuning in as we've been talking shit. It's March Madness. We've been doing a marathon for a whole month. And again, it ain't about us getting famous, but what we were looking for is to nail down our creative vision and like the type of things that work for us as a whole and that people like to hang out and watch. So I see we got a couple new viewers. You could be watching this VOD later on. I want you to know we appreciate you. And the exact point that we did this marathon was to be able to bring you more genuine content like this, so that we're not just sitting there playing video games like everyone else. You know what I mean? So since I got these wacky skills, Bebe needs to eat. Bebe needs some prep food for tomorrow because he's gonna be a busy boy as always. Why not show you guys how I do this? Let's drop some, we'll drop the Marching into Madness link in the chat. Take that boy, copy and paste that into the YouTube for y'all. We actually just filmed our movie club yesterday on our Twitch channel and our YouTube channel. I put out an edited version later on, so no rush to get to it. But if you're interested in exploring some movies and media of all sorts that is fresh and not just another repeat of the same, I've been really enjoying this movie club, and I think Raza here has as well. So don't be afraid to tune in, give your opinion. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all that shit. But all right, you see now, look how quick that is. It's been what, 20 minutes of actually frying. We got 5 right here. I'm about to give this. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. I won't lie. I won't lie. It's hot. I'm just trying to clean this out a bit because all of these bits turn into black nastiness, and my fucking thing's too big for the pot. I didn't consider this option. So we're doing this the hard way. Take that. I got this prepared. I put the lid back on it. I give it a quick blast to incorporate that flour. Pulse, 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 pulse. Take it out. Get that spoon. Get in there. Give it another quick mix. Spoon's got so much oil on it now. The spoon's hot too. So we'll be able to get 10 pancakes out of this session. I'm about to drop in 2 more, 3 more if I can manage it, if there's enough space. You will see your oil start to go down the more that you fry. If you fry at all, you should be experienced with this. But it's also fair that you're not aware of it. the lower, like, so if your oil's too low of a temp, like if it's not hot enough to fry the thing you're frying up, that's when the item you are frying will begin to absorb the hot oil that you are putting in it. So that's why it's also important to get it hot enough, because otherwise we're doing all this work to try to eat a little bit better, and you're just gonna be eating a fucking fistful of oil. Sour cream and sauerkraut. I've also got some radishes here I was gonna put on the side. And bacon for baby. Add that salt, add some protein. This pan can turn off. I got some, yeah, I said I got some radishes on the side. I like the spiciness of the radishes. It helps add some variety to it. I'm losing my hat. I'm gonna go see John Wick 4 after this, actually. Tonight I'm seeing John Wick 4. I'm fucking stoked. Chatterbox invited me. Yeah, so now that I did 3 at a time, and now my temp's a little too low, so it's just talking shit about how it absorbs oil, and these are probably going to absorb a bit more oil than I would like, but can't win them all. Oh shit, right on, right on. I really like the John Woo style editing. I've always been a Wick fan. I feel like Keanu's starting to show his age, so I am a little hesitant at how good this one may be, because the last one he was starting to look a little old in the last one. But I'm my Wu-Tang shit and my videography passions. I'm big into like fight choreography. I think it's a highly underrated skill in the film industry. So when I'm talking about John Wick, that's what I like the most about it. I really like the fight choreography. It's not necessarily that there's a lot of rolling around and the pew-pews, but I like the combo. Very creative. That's why my favorite karate film artist is Jackie Chan. Because I find Jackie Chan highly underrated in how he uses his environments, and it was less karate based, but more based on the set that you're using. And that's something that they really apply to John Wick. I find John Wick to be a good in-between of Jet Li, Jackie Chan, and John Woo. And that's where the 3 styles that I think John Wick ties together perfectly. So as I said, the temp was lower, so I was able to let them sit longer. So that's why they're not burning right away this time. And also, as it's getting lower, there's less oil in the pan physically, so it's harder to get hot. Yeah, the way he gets all the shadows in the scenes just looks so cool. I do often think back to that final fight scene in number 2. Number 2, where they're in the glass room. They're fighting in like the top tier of the hotel. That would be number 3 then, because they're fighting in the top tier of the hotel. No, number 3 is when they're barricaded in the ground floor. So number 2, when they're fighting in the top tier in that glass room, and they're rolling around on the glass and shit. I never did go back and do those. I was about to, for movie club, I was about to make everyone watch Hero by Jet Li. But instead we're watching Escape from New York. Escape from New York. So these guys are golden brown on one side. I'm just keeping them flipping so that they don't burn. And again, I'm trying to get them to cook all the way through, wholly in balance. Got one quick look. They're already looking pretty on the paper towel. But Aleem, what I would recommend is no, the first one. Are you talking about John Wick? Yes, John Wick, the second one. Escape from New York is the first one. Escape from LA is the second one. Escape from New York is made by John Carpenter. Yeah, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell had his hands in Escape from L.A. Escape from New York was all John Carpenter. John Carpenter is the guy who made Halloween and a couple other niche films like that, but all very popular ones. But he does a lot of synth work. So what I would recommend is look up like Escape from New York soundtrack or the Halloween soundtrack, and full of samples, dog. Full of samples. All samples you want to steal. The main theme for Escape from New York is the sample for that really popular song by Justice, that French techno group from the early 2000s. The one that still gets played on the radio a lot. I forget what it's called. It's used in mixes all the time. It's got an orchestral, it's like it balances out. All right. We cooking here. Not much longer in the frying process. I'll mail a couple here, save the rest. I'll eat them with you. We'll do some cleaning, we'll do some chatting. I do have to pack an eBay item, so if this is clean enough in time, maybe I'll pack the eBay item with you guys, but otherwise I've been having a good cooking stream. Appreciate everyone coming through. Thank you. Hey, my camera does look better. I upped the resolution as well as the frame rate. All right. We got some good pancakes right here. We're gonna remove these bad boys. And bro, that's pretty. Come on. I gotta get an extra light in here just for when I show the food. I'm gonna have to put one like right here. I've got an extra tiny one I can use. Oh, way better though. Those were cooked fucking perfectly, honestly. As I said, like, I think once a week I gotta wrap my head around it, but I need to apply more consciousness to my diet and healthy eating to my diet. So part of that is I think one of my cooking streams will be like a food prep stream. On like one big batch of something. Or like one big batch of something and a whole bunch of like small things from it, whether it be spring rolls or onigiri or like prepared pierogies. I don't know. I'll figure that shit out. There are a couple options, but that's definitely, I want to run with that theme. One second, I got you, Alien. I see your comment. Alright, second last batch, or maybe I can get 4 in here. Let's see. Try to get 4 in so that I can be lazy and get to eating. Okay, we got enough to do one more after. Just like literally one more pancake, not one more batch. So you give these a flip on the paper towel so you make sure the hot oil drains out of the other side, because again, absorbing the oil, it's not that bad. That's why I use vegetable or canola oil, because it's really not that bad for you. But, I've been practicing over these woo beats for the past hour, and you have been the choruses and the in-between box. That's fire. I appreciate that, bro. I'm happy I'm going to add a little bit of inspiration with that. I've been heavy into the woo vibes myself, man. It always twists me up because I love their perspective on religion and whatnot. It's really inspiring to me. But it also says I'm the devil. So it's hard whenever I'm thinking about it. But I really like the intentionality it makes you move with, your cipher, how you include people in it. It's all about energy and what kind of energy you're bringing to the world, and the fact that, like, yeah, you yourself have the potential to change your surroundings. And knowledge of self, man. Then you yourself are a god. And that's what a lot of people miss. We talk about these problems nowadays. People's identities, feeling lonely, feeling out of touch with people around them. I think a lot of that ties into a sense of community. So I just noticed my big camera's literally 1%. So we're gonna get a quick plug in here. Which this man's was already prepared for. Alright, we locked in. Yeah, I love that. It's powerful and empowering. Yeah, we are the creators of your own reality. And then all his lessons, like his cipher, like when you're talking about the gods, like I will not let another man into my cipher who is here to create destruction. It is my job as the god over my own domain to ensure that those who I bring within my cipher uplift the other mans I got around me. All that, personal responsibility, and then where Raza will get stoked is the part that they don't talk about enough. And again, I'll be like, hey, my tinfoil hat. That's why I think they got a little blackballed. That's why the Wu fell apart. Because they're literally preaching Islam, bro. It's literally Islamic values. There's no way that these white heads of record labels who figured out what religion they were preaching were stoked that this was what they were doing, you know what I mean? I was surprised he stuck so much of it into that show we were talking about. I really did not think Amazon or Hulu would show the gods, or they showed the Black Israelites too. I was like, wow. I couldn't believe that they had the Black Israelites in it. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way. But we're almost at the eating part of this shit. I see a lot of viewers as soon as I start talking about Islam, so. I hope you've been watching that too, though. The Mando's been pretty fire. We were having debates about it on our movie club last night. Again, go check the VODs if you want to catch our movie club. I think it's setting up the greater universe well, but I do support Raza's opinion that it is a little slow and weird and disjointed because of it, but I think the slow and weird and disjointed will pay off. But, I mean, Raza can also make fun of me saying I was patient for Boba Fett, and that turned out to be trash. So, halfway golden brown, and the oil, it's all balancing out. I'm gonna fry one more. I'm gonna probably eat literally 5 of these. Now I'm feeling good. I love that the part that stuck out to you was about the cipher. That's how I feel about this life. It's important to keep your circle safe, creative, innovative, and the other stuff that we need to protect. Yeah, well, I read the RZA's autobiography. So in his autobiography, he broke down everything about his religion and the divine mathematics. Supreme mathematics. The divine alphabet. All that shit. That's how they pick their names. Like the RZA is all like literally based on like certain numbers and meanings in their shit. And then, that shit's very appealing, but then, yeah, the cipher, it's all, yeah. Because the cipher's just your community, but it's like your spiritual community. And it's about who do you bring into your inner circle? Who are the brothers that you know you have in this world that you can share this intention with? Right? That's why when I build my friendships and shit that's close to me, it's not particularly about finding another man who's doing this or doing that or big. I want people within my cipher who've got the same energy, who want to move with that intention. We're not here to get rich, but we want to create. We want to be more just like them, right? I want to bring my flavor to it, and I don't want to compromise that. And hey, it's Man Order Drum Camp. We got the next Raza Ahmed over here, boys and girls and non-binary pals. This man's about to be shirt off, sexy with a please kill me tattoo in a fucking half a year, I tell you what. I see it for him already. 100 period, yeah. Because like when I go back and visit my boys back in Scars, we all got different shit. Most of them ain't like content creating or like running their own business. And they shouldn't be, fam. You should be doing what you want in life. And the people that I want to bring around ain't necessarily gotta be the next top rapper or a hit producer or something transactional to offer me. What I'm more concerned about is, bro, you want to do pest control? Are you that you want care about doing a good job at killing them roaches? Fire. That's what I think is cool. You know what I mean? And that's what I think is more important. I think me and Aleem here touched on this once before. You messaged me about it because I was talking about transactional relationships, right? I don't want someone. I'm trying to get away from the capitalist structure that we're stuck in, and that's why I did all this shit, right? So, as I'm building now, I'm in a spot where I earn my shit, bro. I paid my dues. I ain't rich yet. I ain't gonna be rich anytime soon. I know that for a fact. But I did all this so I can earn my freedom. So that I can live a lifestyle that's anti-capitalist. So that I can live outside of the structure I've been always told I had to fucking live inside of. So you know what I'm gonna be doing now? I'm gonna be shaping my life so that it's in a structure that I want, and share it with people of how I did it so that they don't have to do it either. Everything down to making $5 latke meals. Because fuck them, bro. I just ordered a pizza for $20 last night, and look, I just made 20 things for, you know what I mean? I just made 12 of these for nothing. $37 and so my mom's house, smoking cess in the backyard, searching the stars about. They're very method man-y, I see that. Or inspect the deck, you know. 37, it's still at my mom's house. Yeah. I don't think so, Raza. I got both a studio and a house. But I guess that's the difference. I got a studio and a house, no money in the bank. So I think you got two dichotomies. You got two millennial dichotomies there, you know what I mean? You got mom's home doing okay fiscally, but living with their parents, or living on their own and pretending that things work. It is, though. You just can't eat. You can't eat off of what they give us nowadays, bro. You shouldn't have to. Like, that's why I don't like to push you into learning things at any pace at all anymore. I know I did a little bit when we started this venture because I was still an anxious boy working through a lot of growth and development, but Man, it's fucked that you gotta have a Bailey ass hustle attitude just to be able to make things on your own nowadays. That's what I always feel so conflicted about. Cause like I'm proud of what I did to get here, but you shouldn't have to pay all these fucking dues just to live for yourself, man. I was ready to take on that challenge, and I'm ready to share with people how I did it, so maybe it's easier for other people, but man, I got too many homies that are just working jobs, and they're smart. They got other ideas, but the opportunities ain't there, man. Like, no one's sitting here showing you, like, hey, pick up this camera, go film a fucking video, dog. Well, because the thing is, statistically speaking, you're also talking about a polling demographic that is likely Caucasian and upper middle class who has the availability to move back home, and a home that has an extra bedroom, and a home that can afford to feed them. That's not getting at you. That's getting at the polls. I'm getting at the polls, not you. Fair fact to bring up. I would agree. I think this woo thing, as inspiring as it is, it's really motivating to take life as it is and share the perspective in the hood. The world feels like it's growing around, but the hood is still as it was. It is, man. Look at NBA Youngboy. Look at NLE Choppa. Look at all these guys who made their career off of banging. And then they come in and try to say that they preach peace now. I'm trying to teach the youth this and that. It's like your whole discography is based off of Juxin, you know what I mean? It's always a dichotomy, man. Even I'd be talking to the homies, and you go back home, and it's like, yeah, man, I either got this, I got to hustle, or I got to go work in the site with my family. You know what I mean? Yes, there have been changes, but not super significant. I think the most significant difference is in the way we use art, hip-hop, and creativity to elevate and help this shit. But the finances. But the finances will always be the biggest but in this scenario. Housing, all that is still underserved and under-repaired. Yeah, man, I was just going off about that, so to internationalize it. I was driving by a truck on the highway the other day. It was Toronto Community Housing Security Guard. So we're in Toronto, but basically community housing, whatever, like government subsidized housing. And it's like, how much does this help? Like, how outdated is this concept that we need to have a guy who looks like a uniformed police officer there to instill order? And that we haven't at all stopped, like, not even on the level of abolish the police, but we haven't at all stopped and gone, how else can we approach this? Oh, hey, we need to find more jobs. Wouldn't it be better to hire multiple people to do a smaller version of all this guy's tasks rather than hire this guy with his fucking $80,000 truck and his lights and his stupid certifications that never get used? I'm done. Rant done. Rant done. That's another thing that ties back to poverty and cultural things. Because at the end of the day, it's always NIMBY. NIMBY. Always not in my backyard. So there's you got a lot of liberals, you got a lot of people who come out there and say, okay, we want to provide more shelters. Okay, we want affordable housing. But when they go, okay, we want to build that affordable housing beside your $2 million home. Let's move. Let's displace another community. What do you mean? Oh, my neighbor, when my neighbor wants to sell his $2 million house, I want my $2 million neighbor. Goddamn, we all want a $2 million neighbor. They're probably a lot easier to fucking deal with than someone who's starving. And it's not their fault. Desi kids usually live with their parents even after marriage. My cousin, he lives with his grandma, and it's not so balling, so it's a Western ideal. No, I agree. Western ideology, but I think in that way, a Western ideology, I would be comfortable with you putting the white tag on that as well. Because, like, culturally, like, my Ukrainian and my German family, like, all my aunts and uncles and grandparents and da-da-da is, like, a very much a cultural thing with my fam that was like, no, this ain't how it works. I've once heard poverty is a state of mind. I feel that. Fixed mentality versus the growth mindset. Emergency lifestyles of the poor and the infamous. A lot of shit to disconnect and disinfect. Yeah, I feel ya. Like, everything down to, like, the way I'm always so worried about my schedule, right? I'm always, like, trying to book this, trying to do that, trying to fit this in, trying to fit that in. But that's, like, counterintuitive. If I want to live an anti-capitalist lifestyle, that's a capitalist fault. The only reason I feel like I need to rush is because I feel like I need to make money by X hour because I've been told by this weird date on the calendar I have to pay my fucking landlord X amount of dollars, right? And that doesn't really help. I agree. I'm trying to get away from that shit heavy, based on just what I was just saying. I agree with you heavy, Raza. And that's my 30-year-old crisis. I am definitely feeling way more comfortable with it than I thought. I thought I'd be an anxious mess about it. But it's just keeping that goddamn question in mind, right? If I want to change things, though, I did this to live life my way. And the most important part of what I was missing is live life my way. It doesn't mean making videos, doesn't mean taking photos. It means living according to a system that I choose to agree to. No more of these barriers that are socioeconomic that were placed in front of me. I've shattered several of them, and my goal now shouldn't be how to conquer another one of their walls. It should be how to build my own fucking wall. I guess wall is a bad equivalent when we're talking about Trumpito being in office, so my bad, but Eastern cultures, white and non-white, have the family value front and center. We've never alone. There's always someone there. It can have issues on its own, don't get me wrong, but when I offered to move my parents, like, nah, fuck you. Alright, Hillary Clinton. Alright, I'll take the Hillary Clinton thing there. But, no, I get you. That's why, like, my grandma is a lot less adverse to, like, oh, I go stay with my grandmother for a month because she's still got that, like, Ukrainian heritage. But at the same time, even though they're like, oh, family, we always here, we do this, we do that together, it was still also like, get the fuck out of the house. I mean, I almost died being a people pleaser, like not following my own spirit, so it's like my body turned on itself. So I feel you when you say that, B. Yeah, it's just, again, I'm calm about it, but that's like the question in my head. It's just making sure I got that in mind as I do everything. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. It was a weird combo. That's, again, I'll say, Raza knows this, but we're on stream, is like the big one. Yeah, my dad, I was 9. I woke up to my dad shaking me awake, saying, you're halfway to getting the fuck out of my house. Happy birthday. I was like, okay, Dad, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Patiently said. We give them simple. Just a couple of them, some radishes. The one thing about my cooking, I can do it for you guys if we ever wanted to, but with this bust-ass style, it's more so about just the cooking part of it than the looks. I can do fancy plate presentations, but I think you see the resources I have here are not bountiful. When I moved out, I want to be safer than what I feel now. My homie bought a house last year, and I'm hearing horror stories about debt. I know, and I don't know how to say it. Let's put it politely. You're on the one extreme spectrum of being risk adverse, too, though. So I do empathize. I do get the fear a lot. It's definitely not a down talk on the fear, but I would say that's the critical difference. You're much more risk adverse inherently and not to a negative. I'm okay going through the grind again. I'm just not giving up the freedom that I earned. So even if I have to give up this studio, if I have to give up this position, I'm not going back to a restaurant to slave my ass. I'm not going to pay off another $10,000 debt. You know what I mean? But because the reason why my slight critique is you don't go forward without jumping through some hoops. That's where I understand that I'm on the extreme of I'm willing to fucking roll the dice. And I know you'd rather wait. But it's also hard to move forward without going through the hoops. But that's not even our fault. That's again the capitalist system. That's again not our... We weren't the ones who said you have to jump through the hoops, because I would prefer not to as well. So it's a tough argument, man. It's one it's a weird dichotomy. It's a tough one. Oh, I got the circling. Yeah, maybe. That's kind of what I want to do with my farmland, bro. Because I want to get my farmland. It's the content farm. That's how I scam my way into property ownership, because I'm going to need grants and bursaries from the government, because I'm never going to be able to afford property on my own, just normal. So through getting grants to open a farm, then I do that, I get a farmhouse. And then, bro, I don't need a lot of space. I need 2-3 rooms max. Then the rest of the house, if I have, say, an Aleem come up, a writer's escape, stay in this room, low minimalist, fucking make music. Oh, I got a recording studio in this room. Oh, I still got all this studio equipment at my farmhouse. I'm streaming from my farmhouse, you know what I mean? So I'm still connected to all that. I feel like I'm reliving my tweens in a weird way, like the rebellious angst has not left me and actually revives throughout the times. Freedom is relative in my opinion. I have it set that my work is surrounding me, working from home, and freelance is great for that. To me, freedom is not having daily routine. I agree with that. I agree with you. That's how freedom... It's a hard debate. That's why everyone gets so tongue-tied with the right-wingers who go hard on it. Because it's 100% mundane one and being told I need to do something rather, yeah. I do also agree with that. My goal isn't to be my own bro or boss, necessarily. It's to avoid very similar feelings of what you're explaining. But my freedom is... I read a lot of socioeconomic... No one told me I could be an artist. There's no one in my family who went to college. There's no one who told me how to own a house. There's no one who told me how investments work. There's no one who told me that I could create, that even though my family owned a photography studio, no one gave me a camera and said, oh, this is an art. You know what I mean? Freedom to me is having that freedom to do similar. Mine is a lot less capitalist based. That's exactly what I'm trying to ramble on now, is that it's not based on property value and getting a studio and da-da-da. The studio and da-da-da-da-da-da help me achieve that creative freedom and those abilities to create whatever I want. And that potential to not have limits because I don't have that financial capability that I can shift easily. So by accruing these tools over time, then I'm able to move fluidly in that environment and experience both like the things I'm bringing up and the things you're bringing up. It's not necessarily about getting the farm to have the this. It's those open up the freedom to not care. Having that farm, then I'm not slaving to pay rent. If I have that farm, then I'm not worried about if the power grid goes down. I'm able to move at my capacity, at my time, and define how I interact with our social agreements. I fought with my family just to be myself for years and still have a slight way of supporting. Freedom is almost freeing, safe in your own skin, emancipating our mind. That's, knowledge of self, fam. Oh, no, I agree. And I think that's something. It took me a long time I had to humble myself to that, bro. I won't even lie. I totally, that's an important lesson for especially young people to see, because that was hustle Bailey for years. That's what I thought. I thought it was all about that, but it's not. I don't have family. I literally don't have a family. I've got like 2 people. So I thought that was all about that independence, but it's all about seeking those families and connections. And that's why I bring up like the living a lifestyle that's anti-capitalist and to my own means is about fulfilling not that independence from the system, right? I'm not trying to I'm not viewing it from an independent lens. I'm trying to create a system that I think fulfills me, and even if it's not a system for other people to adapt, that system can overflow with other people's cups. You know what I mean? So when I say that content farm, again, not about freedom, not about having the fucking farm or the this, it's not about the thing, it's about creating that space. I want to create a space where people can feel that they can do whatever they want without judgment. That's my goal. And I want to create an anti-capitalist space in that sense. That's my dream, that's my life, that's how I want to live, and that's the knowledge that I want to share through what I'm doing here. But I'm going off now. I gotta eat some Latkes. I'm still doing this on stream. I'll eat on stream with you guys. I might finish up the cleaning after, but at least I'll get started on the cleaning while you guys are here. I'm eating with my hands because fuck it. Quite good. Nailed it, actually. Some of the sauerkraut. Whatever you say, Kami. And Raza, I don't take that judgment personally by any means, because I know that's how I used to talk. I know that's how I used to see things for a while. I've been slowly shifting this way. And then again, my 30s stuff. But through all my last job, the nonprofit stuff, right? It was a big, hammered that home. Like, okay, it's not about getting here or doing this thing. It's about the space I want to create, how I want to create it. I had to learn, man. I had to learn. That's the humble, that's the turning 30 shit. You have to take the steps to see the slight flaws in your vision. And I don't regret any of the steps I took along the way. I wish I was more patient with myself in many cases, but I'm very grateful for where I am. I'm very grateful for your motherfucking patience, Raza. I'll tell you that. I'm very grateful for your patience, because you did put up with anxious Bailey when he wasn't able to iron these out yet. The hiccups when I disappear when I do that. All those steps brought me to this point, you know what I mean? I agree. That's hard. Yeah, exactly. I mean, goddamn, I'm a Sorry, Panda. I made, thank you, Panda. I made potato latkes. I'm going off to the chat. So I made potato pancakes. Quick backup option. I needed fried food. I was a little hungover. No, not hungover, but dehydrated. Because I was a good boy. I was driving. So I was a little dehydrated from having a drink or two. So I wanted some fried foods. And then I prepped more for tomorrow. So we got food for later. And it's about like $5 worth of food. You can make it with like 2.5 potatoes, 1 onion, 1 egg, quarter cup of flour. Oh, I agree. Bro, you see my circle. That's why I love associating with the people I associate with. I don't really hang out with many artists even. Best way to get your knowledge of self is by absorbing other people. I just gotta change the track before I get a copyright strike. I'll be right back. 1 second. Alright. I used to be that way in high school mainly because my friends would take digs at me because Raza's dad has a Mercedes, therefore Raza is rich. Shit was so depressing. Well, that was, I think Panda here can attest to that. Again, first off, fire looking. That was one of the, I don't take it for granted, that was the good part about growing up in Scarborough because we were so diverse. We were all making fun of each other, but it wasn't out of envy. Like, we were all accepting. Whatever, homie's got millions of dollars. This guy's in welfare. This guy's here. Bailey's living in the basement with his mom. You know what I mean? We were able to acknowledge those differences. And there was probably judgment behind it. My new learning is about how much acknowledging those differences, we're also accepting how those socioeconomic stereotypes apply to us when we should be trying to shatter that. But at least we were able to acknowledge it without resentment and make those type of jokes. I would make those type of jokes all the goddamn time. But I knew it was a comfortable environment where when I'm making fun of homie with the Mercedes, he's just going to laugh it off and call me a broke fuck. And we're both going to laugh. I feel you, it's interesting that way. People don't know anything about a fucking thing. I used to get in fights a lot of the time before school, and friends and teachers knew nothing about what happened. Yeah, yeah. Fuck. The type of Toronto school I grew up in, the type of Toronto school where, like, several girls I knew were wearing their niqab, and then they come to school and they change outfits. They're looking fly as fuck while I have school, and I go put it back on all the religious garb before mama comes. For me, is like, why is Raza giving life advice? He has everything on a silver platter. Yeah. I learned that a bit through the diversity, but it took my stepdad to learn that shit. Because I was such a little hood rat. I was so angsty. I was like, well, what do you mean you hadn't seen shit? What do you mean you don't got this or didn't da da ba ba ba? You don't understand my life. Right? I learned from observing my stepdad and da-da-da. My friend Marina, who I'm very close with, who lives in Brazil now, that was a big learning lesson that impacted me heavily. When I was like 18 or 19, I met someone who immigrated here from Brazil, who was very wealthy. They were from Brazil, and they viewed themselves as an immigrant, as less than. As someone who didn't like communicate much, and I came there and I told her my story, everything I've seen, everything I went through, all my family, da-da-da-da. And then she broke down, and it was this big, like, weird dichotomy of, oh, okay, I was placing judgment on her just based on her financial capabilities, but then she also was placing judgments on people based on her perception on life. And for both of us, it was a very heavy moving moment. I'm still very tight with this person from that moment. My mom and dad, like, were on welfare before my sister and I were born, so I owe everything to my parents. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bro, I'd be getting at people. Sometimes people would make fun of our friends who have, like, Chinese dentist parents and shit like that. Oh, well, your dad's just a dentist. It's like, fam, his dad busts his ass to become a fucking dentist. I feel like people would look at me, but opposite. Like, who are you to tell me anything? You're not rich. You live in the hood, you're poor. Yeah. I used to have a lot of angst about these things myself, a lot, especially with my family. Big woe is me. You know, even this, I'm a photographer, right? I could be steps I fucking had if someone was wealthy enough in my life to be like, here, Bailey, here's a video camera. I know you're 20, but I'm sure you could make cool things with this. I don't have that opportunity. But, like, I kind of do feel where they're coming from now, being born predominantly white town friends. Yeah. Yeah. That's the hardest thing to understand. Coming from Alberta, that's, again, the rednecks I know, she was here and then dipped out. I think she couldn't deal with my babbling. Yeah. Fuck, I bounced around. I shouldn't have answered Panda. Oh. It's hard about the prejudice stuff because the people I know from Alberta, the redneck area, it's a lot of them. It's not necessarily that they're racist. They're just literally completely ignorant. So when someone pulls out a carpet and prays, they just literally don't, to them it's weird. But a lot of them are also not patient enough to hear it out. But the bigger thing is it's exposure. That's where a lot of this shit comes from. A lot of people, it's exposure in the media, and some people have such a small goddamn vision, you know? But my friends don't understand that my parents had to work 2 times harder than their parents. No, no worries, open discussion. I'm not taking anything biased. No, you're right. You're right. That's the main white privilege ignorance that a lot of people miss. That's the white privilege ignorance that a lot of white people miss. Not necessarily. They think white privilege is being able to do this or say this or da-da-da, but they don't know it's that. You've got to try to... The job's harder to get into. It's harder to do this, harder to do that. People think white privilege is like a socio concept when it's more of like a socioeconomic concept. But society's strange and backwards because the kindest people have been through the most hurt. So imagine how innovative a youth could be if given the chance. Rose from the concrete, for real, for real. No, I agree with you, It's me too. I'm talking about grants. That's why I have to be careful as I talk about it, because that is where my white privilege comes in. I didn't have a lot of these opportunities. They weren't offered to me, but I'm still able to walk into that room and get a lot easier. I started my media company with a grant. You know what I mean? I had no skills. I had no college degree, but because of the color of my skin and because I could talk a certain way, they're like, all right, here you go. Here's $5,000. I agree. So as I'm talking about the hippie shit with the channel and my purpose and the vision and being anti-capitalist, I want to help out so many people with like visions like that and alternate takes and like a life that's a rose from the concrete. Bailey's cock energy got him into a lot of doors. That sorry, that's killing me. That's a good one. That's why I want to create a platform where we can share these humans and these stories and blah blah blah. Like, and organically. That's why I'm trying to find the balance. Because I want to be hustle Bailey. I want to do it often and regularly. But I want to organically create a space where people come through, be themselves. You know, we create entertainment based on that. This was actually exactly what I needed. I'm gonna go get my pills. They're right here. Alright, we back. Yeah, Viagra. Yeah, I got bricked up for after stream, you know. Now I take ashwagandha. I take echinacea, ashwagandha, echinacea, B12, which is this little one, big ass thing of fish oil, like triple fish oil, and then a calcium because I don't be drinking as much milk anymore. So I gotta add the calcium supplements in, and my nails have started growing like fucking crazy now that I started doing it. They started like, I literally felt like my bones felt weak. Like my bones felt mad weak. So yeah, milk. Yeah, that was. So I had to start getting some calcium supplements in because I could feel it. My nails were flimsy. It was kind of gross. Well, sir, when you take a multivitamin, because of the way that it distributes the nutrients, your body is not able to adequately absorb all of the micronutrients from it. So it gives you your vitamin C, the vitamin D, and the basics, but then all this extra shit is what you're not getting. Main thing, though, aside, I've got hippie rants for all of the things I take, but fish oil, fam. Fish oil. Fish oil. 2 times a day, fish oil. Helps your brain, helps your blood, helps your cardiovascular. It's supposed to be good for your heart too, but I don't know if that one's true. But fish oil pills needed, bro. Really, really helps me a lot. Helps my cognitive function. Not these ones. I was also taking maca and 5-HTP, but that's why I took a break from the maca and the 5-H. They were overpowering it. They were sending my system into like too much. My metabolism was going nuts. I literally couldn't keep up with how much I had to eat with when I was having the maca. So I needed to slow down on that, take a break, reset, and take smaller doses later. I'll probably do that in about 4 months. Right now I'm balancing this out. The echinacea is really good because I'm getting over all the smoking stuff. So the echinacea helps your body cough out. It cleans out your lungs constantly. Tell us about the loop you take in. No, the one I'm taking is prescribed. Okay. Then yeah, prescribed. I would prescribed multivitamin. Then yeah. No hippie rants. If it's a doctor prescribed one, then your body actually absorbs it. It's those Walmart, Costco ass multivitamins that they don't really actually do anything. You just piss it out, literally. Not to be too gross, sorry. The B12 helps cognitive function as well as motor skills and metabolism. Because I'm a gym boy, the B12 helps you metabolize sucralose. I would say you don't really need to take B12 if you're not like doing athletic stuff. Otherwise, you're just going to be hungry for no goddamn reason. And then so I got the echinacea, and then I got the ashwagandha. Ashwagandha I find really helps my blood flow. I took that instead of the maca. It wakes me up as well. It's another upper. It tastes a little bit of caffeine feel to it. It's also supposed to improve blood flow. Yeah, I seen you left one here, fam. I seen you left this, and I actually don't know what this is. Why? I seen you left this. The massive roots. It's got ginkgo biloba and horny goatweed. Yeah. I find the B12 is also, you got friends who do they like to go skiing, they like to have fun. Tell them to take B12 after. If you have friends who like to participate in recreational activities that could be damaging to your blood cells, if you take B12 the morning after, it obviously doesn't reverse shit, but it helps your body replenish what you burned out the night before. It hasn't been that long. There's no way. You think it's bad that quick? It does have a weird paste at the bottom. Yeah, ski heads love vitamins. I'll tell them that. The B12 helps a lot. B12 helps, yeah. It repairs everything, so that hangover you have from other recreational activities helps you recover. Before sex too, and good to have every now and then, cleans the blood. Oh, the balboa? I use ginkgo biloba as like a energy supplement from time to time, but something about it really dehydrates me. I don't know what it is. Whenever I take ginkgo, I get so fucking thirsty. Ferments. Big. This is why I'm eating my sauerkraut, bro. Need that tum-tum fuel. I really recommend. We got Panda in the chat though. 5-HTP. Look that up. It's a really good mood enhancer. You just can't take it for like more than 6 months or a year straight. It's not great for your liver. But really helps your mood. It literally helps you develop serotonin. So if you're feeling a bit down, that 5-HTP really helps you. And that's all right, Aleem. I'm about to get out of here too. Appreciate you stopping by. Good chats all around. Raza's dropping them knowledge bombs today too. But 5-HTP, I found it really helped me, honestly. It was really good. It really balances out my mood, and it wakes you up a little bit too. It's natural. You can get natural versions. It's just the active ingredient in 5-HTP is the active ingredient. It's like the chemical ingredient your body needs to create serotonin. So it doesn't, like, it's not a happy pill per se, but if you're eating healthy and everything around it, it helps your body produce serotonin more efficiently. So that was the other thing. I could be taking it's not a quick fix, but if I'm sleeping well and taking this pill, it helped me stay awake and shit like that. I do recommend it for resetting. Yeah. No, I feel you. Those are the type of relationships I pull myself, you know what I mean? It's hard to go on like average dates because I get bored. I need to hear like we're gonna be talking about life and why you do what you do and what your vision is. And again, it's not about whether you want to be a star or blah blah blah. If you want to be an investment banker, tell me why you want to be the best goddamn investment banker there ever was. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Panda, I'll probably put 5-HTP back in my diet in about 4 to 6 months, but I had to do a cleanse. I'm going to do a little cleanse at the end of this month. I've been having a little too many beers to get by because I've been a tired boy, and it helps me to fucking push on through, but it's not slowing me down that much, but I do not need anything else dealing damage to my body. so soon enough we'll take a nice little cleanse, because I need to do this little cleanse before I go to Tennessee, bud. I'm excited to go, but I would rather like wash my body out before I start treating it like a trash can. I'll do the major cleaning off stream, but I'm going to do a little tidy while you guys are here. Again, appreciate everyone coming through. We had a new follow today. Thank you, Turtle Tim. I think that was his name. It's Turtle something. And then someone asked us if we ate gorilla butt, bro. Someone popped in and asked, bro, if we ate gorilla butt before. And I was like, I think that's, I don't know what he's trying to do there. You're only 10, I see. I'm excited. We're going for my boy's bachelor party. I'm about to get weird, bro. I'm definitely getting weird. But, so part of that is that I'm going to detox. I'm going to take a break. But since I'm going to have an opportunity to let all that sin and debauchery out, then I'm going to funnel it all into that moment rather than allow myself to have my small bursts. Because that's the balance I kind of negotiate with myself. It's not necessarily about getting X amount of drunk or X amount of high, or I need this or I need that. What I kind of aim for is a balance. I like to let the demons breathe, but I only want the demons to breathe on my conditions. So that could be having 1 beer every other night, could be having 2 beers every other night, or it could be just getting dicked once a week, but no mixture of both. You get one or the other. The demons get to breathe, but they only get to breathe in a way that's copacetic to the rest of my personality also being able to breathe. Dicked. Getting straight dicked, bud. Hacking some darts, breaking some hearts. Next thing you know, we're gonna hit up the executive part 3, bud. Dingers only, top shelf, fam. Yo, you don't even know you jabroni. Bucket. Oh, fuck yeah, bud. And yeah, demon. A demon. Yeah, that's funny. My head was there. Yeah, Liam, this was all about. It took me a time to balance that out. For a while, I was always going back and forth. Do I want to be the saint? Do I want to be the angel? Do I want to be this? These are two different parts of me, and it took me a time to be like, no, I want it. I like the socializing. I like the partying. I still want to party, but just making sure that all parts of that breathe then. Yeah, take off your yoga hoser. Yeah, hoser. You duster. Those, what do they call them? The Betties, the rink babes, rink bunnies. I like smoking cess and eating edibles and then getting into some DJing and music and freestyles, etc. Yeah. No, I kind of do. I do genuinely like doing this, so that's also why I'm integrating all the things together. We have to integrate the dark with our light. Bro, that was one time I got the mans told me, I've been told by some spiritual people that it's like I'm descended by demons that were cast out of the dark, is what they say. They always say I'm a demon. It could also be the tone of my skin. But no, I feel, yeah. Oh, that's also the Wu-Tang shit. I didn't even take that in. The greatest light comes from the dark. This Friday? Oh, this Friday. Yeah, okay. Alright, depending on how you guys want to do it. I got everything will be set up in a way we could literally even have you doing RE remake, and I could be in here flipping stuff and have an extra camera. We could do it a bit more like that even. Have the game running, do a marathon, have a couple of us and our friends, and then we can move around all in one. Yeah. reactions. I don't get the reactions comment in this case. I'm not going to try to BS my way through that. I'll be there though later though, so let's see. Oh, okay. I thought you might be alluding that you got the day off actually. Alright, yeah. If it's only about 12 hours, we could kind of do it overnight. But just again, I might be I'm fine with even sleeping in the corner while you guys are streaming, but there's a chance I wuss out. I might not be able to go 12 hours straight, man, but I'm fine with taking a nap while everyone's doing their thing. But I'm not built that good, bro. I know I'm not stoked on it, but it's for the fun. We're on stream. It'll be a funny bit. Man, imagine if we had Twitch in our teens. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Panda, me and my homie, we were inches away from starting a YouTube video back. A YouTube channel. We had everything lined up. We had our YouTube channel name when we were teenagers that we wanted to start was going to be called The Impotent Unicorn. We were going to call it The Impotent Unicorn, and we were going to do sketches, but then that was the same tech. Our phones sucked. None of us knew how to work a camera. It was like, okay, fuck this. And yeah, for real, Panda, some Kai Cenat stuff, you know what I mean? I'm kind of happy I didn't, because I would have been the most cringe. You even... Yeah, I'm happy. Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about the actual music that's playing. Yeah. You put the song tracks, and then you put your relationship in the status. We're MSN age. Don't you get that fucked up. Don't worry. We remember the MSN. Chatbot. You'd fuck with Chatbot with your friends. The original ChatGPT chatbot. ChatGPT's fucking estranged stepbrother. I always find that as like I love that comparison. I keep, for some reason in my life, people keep talking about MySpace around me, you know what I mean? They keep talking about, like, the MySpace days. But, I got one load of dishes done in front of you guys, and then I'm gonna call it quits. Merc. I remember I used to use one called Last.fm. I used to use that a lot when I was younger. Okay, so we're cleaning the food processor first while I'm with you guys. Used to get bare album singles, new shit, not even touched down yet. Oh yeah, I remember the day of the LimeWire, right? You're downloading all the Soulja Boy songs and the Bill Clinton samples. Because there's always Crank That. You always wanted something else, and there's always Soulja Boy Crank That, every time. Yeah, that shit was expensive, bro. Back in the day, it was like $3 a song and shit. So this is a good solo stream. I like the combo. I appreciate everyone bringing the good chats. I felt I showed how to make the food pretty well at the beginning. I could have been a bit more on point, but I'm learning this new technique here. We got a new follow. So Lord knows once we're popping, man, if we're already getting a few people popping in every cooking stream. Napster, LimeWire, Bear Something, Soulseek. I was, yeah. LimeWire, FrostWire. I remember Soulseek, but I didn't use it a lot. Oh, you're old enough. You might. There was like Tagged, and then what was the black one? The Urban Planet? Not Urban Planet. Urban something. Shit. Tagged and fuck. Yeah. Okay. Oh, BearShare. I remember BearShare. And then torrents were starting to come out, but torrents were also very dangerous. Torrents were like full of like proper Trojans. Where's RP my Neopets, bro? I used to go hard with my loophole, fam. My green loophole. Neopets, owned by the Church of Scientology. We had no idea. I know Panda knows this, probably Raza, but I doubt Aline did. Oh yeah, YTV had everything, bro. Those were the first chat boards I was on, actually. The YTV youth chat rooms. And yeah, the Church of Scientology bought Neopets. Yeah, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's fam bought Neopets. Yeah, while we were kids. If you remember when we were in Neopets and there was that big deal, it got like sold, like all of a sudden it got bigger real quick. Like they started adding all these maps and shit. It's because the Church of Scientology bought it. And then one of the reasons it fell off was because the church couldn't adapt to the changing media landscape quick enough. And like Webkins came out and started offering plushes and shit. And the church didn't know how to manufacture all that merch. The more you know. But YTV, the first chat rooms I was in was the YTV chat rooms. Back when they had those games, if you remember them, they were when we were young. The right timing with y'all, they had those barcode scanning monster games where you could like go to the grocery store and scan barcodes and it would give you like Digimon style monsters. And then you could go on the YTV website and you could share the monsters and talk in the chat rooms. And those were the days where people would start every conversation, even if they weren't a Pokemon hunter. They would start every conversation with ASL, like age, sex, location. I remember that felt weird back then. I remember that felt wrong back then. That's some OG internet days. If you're in the chat rooms and people are asking ASL, bruh. If you're under 16, you're somewhere you shouldn't be. The Habba Hotel would get kind of weird. That was Habba Hotel was my first big talking to because I was scamming people when I was like 8 or 10 in Habba Hotel. My family had to sit me down and be like, you are taking real world money. You are stealing from real people. You're not allowed to play this video game anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And then I started playing again in high school, and that's when me and Jeff started the bodyguard business and shit. But I was scamming when I was like 8 or 10 on Habbo. Yeah. I was scamming on Habbo, and then my parents were like, no, you're not allowed to play this game anymore. And then once I was a teenager, I was like, it's time to get this shmoney. Pool's closed, bitch. I wasn't one of those guys. I'm not a racist. I had to make it was good timing. It was a good timing joke. I'm sorry. Bayley came out of the womb scamming. Yeah, it was just that talk earlier we were having about socioeconomic status and then barriers in life. I just, my family taught me that if you ain't got it, this is how you go get it. You know what I mean? It's all about balance, fam. It's all about balance. If you don't know how to get it, there's ways to go get it. You just gotta know how to sweet talk the right people. You need to know how to trick a sexy young Pakistani man into starting a YouTube channel with you if you want to get famous one day. When someone says they weren't racist, you gotta do some digging. Nah, because if anything, the time that it was the pools closed era, I was playing with my friend Taval, and I think we were too young to understand what it was what was going on. Dad taught my 5-finger discount. Yeah. Dad also taught you how to listen. No, nope, not getting that soundbite. Not getting that soundbite. That's for off air. That's an off air joke. I have a feeling I probably ran into your ass on Habbo Hotel at some point. Probably. Probably getting scammed at some falling Fernie event. I would have been a similar name to what you saw. I would have been Bob the Feared, most likely. I was Bob the Feared for a long time. No, I ain't saying it. I ain't saying it. I'm getting ready putting this oil away. I got another load of dishes to do later, but that's good enough for now. Let those big boys dry because that's what I got to take home. And actually, I got to take home one more thing, so let's watch that. I'll do more dishes after. I'm going to relax. I may actually dabble in some Rust. I don't really have a lot of time. I want to play Rust, but I don't have a lot of time. Me, why you kicking me? I want scam. Alright, have a duck. Yeah, I'd give away chairs. Because a lot of people, the noobs, didn't know how much the chairs were worth, but they would be stoked that they're getting Fernie, so I'd give people plastic chairs. We got raided a minute ago. We got troll raided. I'll play for a second with you boys if you want. I'll pop up Diablo after I turn this off, and I'll see how long the wait time is. If it's under 30 minutes, I'll play with you. Pause. All right. Otherwise, I'm gonna pull this out in a second. All right, internets. Need time for Rust unless you got someone grinding, yeah. You gotta have like a stoned or a panda going on every other day to make sure we're not getting raided. So that was a good, we did a good Latkes stream. Happy everyone could hang out. I hope I gave some valuable lessons at the start of it. I should have iterated this a billion times. I think I did, but when this month is done, I'll be going back and cutting these into YouTube videos, so you'll also be able to catch these as an edited VOD. Need time for Rust unless you got someone to reinforce their base too. Pain, we didn't reinforce the ceiling. They got in through the ceiling. They blew the top. We should have done sheet metal on the roof. But, man still allowed to say pause? Yes, because a pause came full circle, right? So pause, in the old 90 sense, homophobic. Now pause is applied to any sexual situation. So you could be using pause with your homegirl, because you could have made a comment with your homegirl that's a little overly sexual, and then pause applies in the same funny sense, just now without the homophobic tinge. This is how I've come around to it, and this is how I'm using it nowadays. So pause is more so pausing at, I made a sexual inference at one of my friends. Now, you still have to have a female who is understanding of the street culture or the slang to be able to know what you're saying with the pause, because otherwise they're going to be like, what the fuck was that? Hold the fort. But yeah, it's because of the kids. It's because the kids are slightly more woke. They're not necessarily all. I don't know, man. I ain't got my notifications on in this room. That's the only thing. No, it's all good, Aleem. I need to get the hell out of here anyways. Raza says we should go to FurryCon this year. God damn. Yeah, man. Alright, I appreciate you guys coming through. Thank you, Aleem. Aleem's the guy. If you go back and check our VODs, this Thursday I was editing some videos live. They were jam sessions. They were awesome. They were inspiring. FurryCon, like a furry convention. Like a furry convention. No, I'm glad you could come through, Panda. Y'all are great homies. Again, you're watching this VOD later, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. We're very active this month. We've been on our March Madness. It's day 25, so we've been putting out content nearly every day, except for when we had a few hiccups. You want to check out what real variety is? We got it there. We got everything from gaming to podcasts to movie reviews to cooking streams to fucking killing demons with Razzie Dazzy over here. But either way, what it really did, narrowed down our vision, what we want to create, what we want to bring to the table. So if you're liking what you see, it may not be this. So we're probably not doing every goddamn day, but you're going to see the exact same style variety, and hopefully we'll be able to just make it better every single time. As you already know, this stuff's going. Every time I start a new stream, there's a little upgrade. So rather than try to do it all at once, we get in there. And again, we appreciate it. Making the latkes was fire. That's a family recipe, something passed down through my grandmother and my dad. That's literally like my Ukrainian heritage, so I'm glad I could share it. I was also starving myself. I'm going to go see fucking John Wick, fam. I'm about to see Keanu Reeves do some action rolls and arm bars and drive some whips real fast. So, main thing I want to say is thank you, thank you, thank you. Without everyone contributing to the genuine energy, we wouldn't be able to make this what it was. We got Panda, we got Raza. These are the man of the hour. They always come through, they hook us up. But I'm going to be jumping on Diablo 4 likely for, I'll get this man in 45 minutes, something like that. But alright, thank you everybody. Very grateful for your presence. I hope you have a wonderful day. We're going to see you tomorrow in a gentle capacity, and we'll be back Monday after my filming with Aleem. Alright guys, GG, GG, GG. I gotta run away and turn the shit off, alright? Later.